We just heard from Senator Padilla about the obstacles being placed before DACA recipients, seemingly intended to impede their attempts to renew their status. DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, was created back in 2012 under President Barack Obama, intended to protect from deportation kids brought to the U.S. illegally as children. Let's bring in MS Now's Maya Eaglin, who has got new reporting on delays in the DACA renewal process and the impact that's having on those in the DACA community. Maya, what did you learn?
Good morning. Yeah, an estimated 500 million people are a part of the DACA program, and it allows folks who were brought to the U.S. as children to live and work legally in the country. The application has to be renewed every 2 years, but as you said, recently there are new challenges slowing the process down.
I came here when I was so young that I barely have any memories of my life outside of the United States.
Angel Aguiluz was just 8 years old when he arrived in the U.S. with his family from Honduras. He's since graduated college and works at an electricity company.
We went to the same elementary school. So tell me what it was like to grow up in Silver Spring, Maryland, and also why your family decided to come here.
We had a car accident, and due to the injuries that one of my brothers sustained, we kind of had to drop everything and come to the United States for his medical safety. Coming to such a welcoming community, such a diverse community, and just had a good childhood.
In 2012, Angel and his two brothers applied for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA status, under the Obama administration. Last year, 261 DACA recipients were arrested and 86 were deported, according to Homeland Security. DHS also said DACA comes with no right or entitlement to remain in the United States indefinitely.
You are always in fear of an ICE raid just dragging you into a van and sending you to a detention center.
But in addition to that fear, there's a new challenge. The renewal process for DACA applications is taking a lot longer, putting their legal status and ability to work in jeopardy. From October 2025 to February 2026, the median wait time for DACA renewals was about 70 days. That's almost 4 times the days compared to fiscal year 2025, when the wait time was about 15 days.
I renewed my DACA, would have been in 2014, and it took maybe 2 months. This current time that I'm trying to renew it, it's looking like it's going to take around 7, maybe even 8 months.
It's been recommended to file your application for renewal within 130 to 150 days of your expiration date. Now what we're running into is they're taking longer than 150 days, but they also could reject if you file before 150 days.
Tamara Castro Marquez is an immigration attorney at We Are Casa de Maryland, an organization providing legal services and resources to those seeking legal residency or citizenship. She and several other legal experts are concerned that these delays are intentional. Tamara says the filing fee, which is over $500, can no longer be paid with a check or money order, but instead must be paid with a debit or credit card, creating some barriers for the DACA community. Another change, in the past, biometric scans and tests could be reused for each application.
They have to go to one of the centers, do be fingerprinted, have their photo taken in order to then continue on with the process.
I filled out the paperwork, sent it out in February, and it got returned. The lawyer that I was working with said that nothing really was off. I did it again in March, and the same thing happened before we finally decided to do it through the online portal, and it went through that time, luckily. But that did delay me by 2 months.
What does that cost you in the end?
I might not have a job between now and the day that my DACA expires. If my DACA isn't here, how will I be able to feed myself, pay rent?
Angel also signed as a part of a class action lawsuit back in 2017 that successfully stopped the Trump administration from getting rid of the program completely. But there's still another active lawsuit coming out of Texas.
These policy changes have been pushed through with basically no feedback from the impacted communities. And so that feels very pointed, right? It feels like it's intended to be cruel. It's intended to scare people.
But Angel says he's going to continue doing everything the right way and isn't giving up.
There's always hope in this country. There's always a dream that you chase in this country. And the fact that this is happening to us doesn't change the fact that the future can still be bright.
Now, that last shot was Angel with his niece and nephew, and really just shows what he's after, right? Quality time with his family and the ability to make new memories in this place he's always called home. We reached out to DHS about this reporting, and they sent us back a statement saying, under the leadership of President Trump, USCIS is safeguarding the American people by more thoroughly screening and vetting all aliens. DACA does not confer any form of legal status in this country.
Yeah, terrific reporting here. And Donnie, let's just take a look at this through the political lens, because I mean, these are, as we saw, these are human faces, these are human stories, and we keep returning to Trump's pledge that the deportation program would be aimed at the worst of the worst. And we have seen time and time and time again, DACA, just the latest example, that's simply not the case.
Yeah. And what's important for the Democrats, we touched on this in the last segment, is they've got to focus on the fact of the injustices and that the majority of the people being deported are not criminals. And these stories, these very human stories that we see there. So it's going to be an interesting play.